Well, once again, On the Ball Report is finding this field report. Now into its second year, and it's nicknamed the Kondo Cup, but really it is the Mandani Cup competition, which attracts well over 200 youth players, girls and boys. We had the opportunity to catch up with the former backup goalkeeper for the national Philippines team, Rep Charisma.
Well, I tell you, we've been around the province quite a few times. It's Mandani Football Cup Festival, we can say that. Lots and lots of kids, lots and lots of teams, lots and lots of parents. But to get the quality of these games, I have a very special guest, Ref. So, Ref, we all complain about costs on entering certain competitions, football in Cebu.
Right now, there's a lot of competitions here in Cebu. Most is youth competition, and it's very, very demanding on the kids. And the costing is a little bit higher than the usual before the pandemic. It's very normal. It's a new normal right now, and maybe a lot of teams hasn't adjusted yet. But I think in order for us to make change, we adapt to whatever is on the system right now.
Okay, now one of your jobs out of many is to look at the organization from the coaches down, not to say down, but to the players there. How difficult is that?
It is a challenge for us. Difficult is an understatement. It is a challenge for us coaches to a point where, especially head coaches, to find the right people, the right quality coaches to handle these kids, because it's very important. It's very important. Hi, buddy. It's very important that in order for us to produce quality players, we have to have quality coaches. So yeah.
Now, this is the federation all the way down to, obviously, when you talk about the quality coaches, obviously the quality in the coach reflects in the players.
Mm-hmm.
So are we looking at tomorrow's national team players?
That's the goal. That's the goal, to produce not only quality players locally, but to produce locally for the future. For the future, meaning not only the youth national team, but to produce homegrowns for the men's national team. So in order for us to do that, there's a lot of factors to be done, especially coaches' education, exposure in tournaments locally and internationally. At the same time, motivation to the kids, because it's very important. It's both ways. It's not only the coach, the parents, even the players. It's also the level of competition that these kids are doing right now. So it's a big challenge for all of us. Yeah.
What makes a good coach?
That's a tough one. Well, one of the qualities of a good coach is the willing to adapt to whatever the situation is, because just like what I told my coaches, if you're here for the money, you're in the wrong line of business. So here is the development of the kids, the character, the skills, at the same time, not only them to be a good player, a good person, but a good citizen, as well as to not only be proud for the schools, families, but to the city that they're in. So there's a lot of things. There are a lot of things that a good coach has to be, and just like what I said, the best quality is the willingness to adjust, to learn, to accept mistakes, and to continuously improve.
Now, you use the word learn. Let's go back a little. Learn, education. How important is education at the school level along with the game of football?
It's a lot, because the game IQ is very important. The understanding of the game itself is very important. And in the point where not only it's just kick and run, it's about understanding before the ball goes to, where the ball goes to, and to recognize your teammates, the surroundings, and also the ability to take moments and change the game by changing your mindset in order for you to get the goal of winning.
Coach, Ref, I know you're a busy guy. You've got to come back this afternoon to this big event here. Just quickly remind me, how many teams and how many players would that be at this event?
There is if I'm not mistaken, there is 5 categories: the 7, 9, 11, 13, and 15 in this second Mandani Football Cup tournament, and it's a 2-day tournament. Today is for the U7, U9, and U11, and 13 and 15 will be tomorrow. So each age group has 20 teams, and they'll be competing to be the second Mandani Cup champions, and it's a very limited slots for this tournament because Mandani obviously doesn't have much pitches. They only have 2 pitches, but the quality one. So this is a very good tournament for our kids locally because these tournaments can range for us coaches that everyday training, and we'll put to a test during the weekend. So welcome to the second Mandani Cup tournament, and have fun, come down and enjoy.
Well, I wish they had an under 60s or maybe under 70s. I'd get a game. But anyway, again, Coach, thanks for your time.
Thank you so much, sir.
We talked to Springdale's Jojo and Bobbit, and here's Jojo comments about parents trying to coach from the sidelines during games.
So when you look at this, Jojo, during a game, I mean, I see the parents screaming, run this, run that. Doesn't that interfere with some of the coaching?
Yeah, it's kind of we need players to be more in focus to us for coaches, because I think some of the parents they
get excited, eh?
They give instructions to their sons, and then it's not it's not good.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Indeed, I mean, probably as a parent in the old days, I was guilty of that. But Bobbit, how do you control some of the parents?
Well, in the first place, we control the parents before the game. During our practices, we give them advice that we have boundaries between coach and the parents, because we cannot coach together in the tournament as in the game. So this is your boundary, and leave it to us. This is our job. So your job is just clap your hands, and if you can tape your mouth, then tape it.
So how much work do you put into having the teams here? I mean, this is dedication at its best.
Yeah, the love of the game, the passion of mine. It's very. I'm very thankful that I have this kind of knowledge to give it to the children, to give to the kids. I hope this would take long and more. I hope there's a lot of kids that can learn on my knowledge too.
Exactly, and so. Coach Jojo, when we look back, I mean, I saw you talking to the team after the game. They won 2-0. Some of the youngsters there thinking, well, Coach, we won 2-0. What else do you want?
Yeah, it's good to win the game, but the performance itself, it's very important also. Okay, we see many mistakes from the players, so we need to push more.
Very much.
Well,
there you have it. I mean, they go on to the next game. Do we know the next game? Who are you playing?
We'll play against DBYC. We don't know yet their skills on their team yet, but we're prepared. We do our best to give our knowledge to the kids, and the team works, and probably we hope we stay strong throughout the game.
And hopefully I can stay strong with the production team for the rest of the day, because I can tell you the sun here is, I don't know whether it's burning me or what, but it's got to be at least 42 degrees.
But we also caught up with a very busy person, the Honourable Glenn Anthony Soko.
And the reason why we're here is because he's got a pretty talented boy, and we're hoping to catch up with this young guy. I saw him kicking a ball around a couple of weeks back inside Ayala. I thought, hey, we got to catch up. So the Honourable Glenn brings you here. I mean, you're such a busy guy. How on earth do you manage to have some family?
Well, we have to be a parent at some point. And yeah, we're here for the tournament, and my son is part of the Titans Football Club. And ever since he got into the club, it's been a busy schedule after the pandemic, and it's been interesting, and it's been active and amazing. No? So I'm embracing this experience with. I'm not a football player, but I like what I'm seeing, and I'm enjoying as a parent.
We should mention that you were pretty good at volleyball.
Yes, I was a very active volleyball player when back in the days, and I played competitively, and at some point professionally. So that was my my very, I would say, it kind of helped me to. I give a good credit to the sport, to have molded me to where I am right now. That's why I'm encouraging my son to participate in any sport that he likes. So far, it's soccer, and also to the kids out there that being involved in sports is helps mold your character, brings family together, and it's also a source of personal and a group pride, and it could be a national pride if you reach at a certain level.
Well, that's a very good point indeed, and it's a proven fact, certainly in North America, that kids are encouraged and they improve with education when they're very good at a particular sport. And I'm talking about, you mentioned the word soccer, which is great,
Yes.
which here we mentioned football. But how do you see education here along with sports?
Well, we have to balance. Back in, I was playing in the volleyball. I have to maintain a certain grade or academic standing for me to be able to continue playing and keep my athletic scholarship. With my son, I noticed that they're very demanding. Also, the institution is very demanding in terms of academics, and I like it. And at the same time, being able to keep the balance of practicing and playing, and that's discipline. And I always tell my son to just manage. We try to help him here and there, but again, as he is growing up, and he's growing up pretty fast, that he can be able to handle it on his own. No? So we will be with him as much as we can, and we'll give him all the support wherever he feels happy.
Well, I had the chance, by chance, you was with your two sons actually, but I talked to your son, very articulate, and he comes over very independent.
Yes, he has been, among all of my sons, I have four, he is to me the most independent. With his studies, I seldom even get to coach him with his studies. His father does, and he's amazing. He's during the pandemic, while he was on online classes, he was just on his own, and I don't expect for him to be top rated, no, but at least he can go through. Not too low, but I don't. It's good if it's there, if he gets the top grades. But so as long as he can already, it's enough for him to get to the next grade. That'll be enough for me. Mm-hmm. I don't pressure him that much. So I would say he's a very independent kid, and I like him to be as he grows along.
Now, does that take after his dad or his mum being independent?
I think it's more of me, because when I was growing up, half of my life in my high school and college life was volleyball, no? Sports. So there would be times that we'll be going out of town and even out of the country to participate, no? And we are just on our own. No? When I was playing, it's a good thing we talk about playing competitively, because I played with the Palaro, and when you play in the Palaro, it's a Department of Education program. So you get to be housed in a school, and you are with your teammates and your coach and assistant coach. So that's only it, no? And all with other athletes within the region, if it's a regional competition. No? So that taught me independence, and I'm the only son in the family. I have 3 sisters. So somehow growing up as the only son also has taught me independence, and even up to now I make my decisions, but of course it's good to consult also. I talk to my parents a lot. No? We always have a lot of time together, and it's good to get their inputs, their feel. They give their unsolicited advice or solicited, but at the end of the day, I make the decision, and that's what I want my son to become. That even with here with his football or soccer, how do you call it?
I think it's great that you're using the word soccer.
Okay, so even with his playing with soccer, I don't tell him what to do. I just tell him, okay, that's good, Glax, that's bad. You can do better. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a football player. I'm not a soccer player, but I just tell him that okay, you can be better at this. You can improve your stamina. There was one time that he felt so disappointed because he almost made a goal, but somebody blocked him from behind. I go, well, why don't you block him back?
Why not? Why not indeed? Let me ask you this, because I was unfortunate and I've had a great education, a working class family back in the old country. But now I see, especially in North America, and especially I see in the Philippines, certainly the drug situation with young kids is still there. But I'm sure with your experience and political arms at times, these kids need to be playing sports, whether we call it soccer or football.
Yes, I do believe that we get the kids into sports, and that is I feel so strongly about it. And I would even push for it if given a chance. No? Or I'm actually in government, so I'll make it. I have a conscious effort in pushing for sports development as part of the holistic development of the child. No? Because in my own case, I give much value to sports. Sports in my overall development. So in sports, there's the value of discipline, there's value of competitiveness, there's the value of achieving something, aiming for something, and the value of winning, no? And even accepting defeat. No? That's part of it. So in life, you go through so many challenges, and the sports development, what you earn from it would help you navigate life as you go along. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm sure all the other dads and parents out there would share the same. No? So at this day and age, that a lot of our kids are very much invested into the digital technology. This is a very welcome, I would say, activity for us. No? And I'm happy that we have, it's active, we have tournaments to play with, and we practice for something. And I encourage all the other parents out there, involve your kids to sports. And that's really to me a necessity rather than just a want. No? So
Well, the Honourable Glenn Soko, I know your time is always tied up, but we certainly appreciate the interview, and perhaps we can do some in the future.
well, it's good, no, that we were able to really get this going, Peter. We've been talking back and forth, and I appreciate what you're doing here, and you're promoting something which you really love doing, and it is for a good cause, and you're helping promote sports into what you feel is best, and along the way you get to talk to people who can share some valuable information. And I'm just privileged to be part of your program, and thank you for thinking of me. And in any way that I can be of help, I will be there. No?
Thank you. This is Off the Record. We've just launched a new program, Guess Who's Talking to Us? And we could have this particular gentleman being a guest on our show, but we'll keep you posted on that. But he's such a busy guy. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Pete Irvin, hosting On the Ball Report, for the love of the game, of course, covering Philippine football and international news. This has been brought to you by Sun Sports and Bad Beat Sportswear, and produced by Woven Studio. Share, like, subscribe and ring the bell for news, interviews, breaking stories. Thanks for watching On the Ball Report.